Just got through doing Cheyenne and Tonto's tricks. Have both Cheyenne and Tonto do their tricks of, have a fly flying around in my living room right now. I think that's what Cheyenne was just trying to catch, a fly. I hate flies, so yes, kill that fly for me. But since just got done doing tricks here, both dogs are wore out. I have both Cheyenne and Tonto do their balance treat on their nose trick. Also, Cheyenne and Tonto know how to shake. Give me a high five. And also to sit, lay, stand up, and then spin. I have them taught how to do donuts. I have them taught how to, do, the spin trick for me. But anyway, let me get to the nitty-gritty of this video. During this video, you'll hear a sound of wind in my living room, which is that big metal fan I have hanging on my living room wall to help keep both me, Tonto, and Cheyenne comfy, because pretty hot out today. And I have my window air conditioner going along with the fan circulating there, but enough rambling. You can see that picture hanging on the wall above my desk of both me and my Golden Pyrenees, Cheyenne and Tonto. They're so special to me. But I was like, kind of rummaging around in my shelves tonight, and I came across these old pictures that Mom gave to me, a while back. I forgot that I had them, but it's of, my pictures of my former dog Paco, and also, Mom's cat Courtney. Courtney actually, died in the late, mid 2000s. I'm gonna say it was like about 2004 whenever Courtney died. Because back then, I didn't have, internet in my house. I didn't have my own internet, and I had to go to E.G. Fisher Library, to read my emails and other stuff I had online, since I didn't have my own computer. And I think, Mom even had an email to me, telling me about, Courtney's death. By the way, the cat's name is Courtney, but Courtney is a cat that me and Mom both owned right before I moved, out on my own back in 2001. Courtney was, a great tabby cat that loved attention. She loved to play with us. And Courtney could also tell that whenever we were having a bad day, because whenever Mom was relaxing on the couch or relaxing in bed, or if I was relaxing on the couch or relaxing in bed, Courtney could, actually sense that we were having a bad day. And then Courtney would actually come walk up on either me or Mom, and would take her front paws and massage us on the chest or back to help soothe us, to help us get through our bad day. I mean, Courtney knew when we were having a bad day, because she always had that sensation, and she would, just automatically know we were having a bad day and just walk right up on us and just give us a massage, which was very, very therapeutic. To make a long story short, we got Courtney back in about the late 90s. I'm going to say like 97, 98, the late 90s, something like that. And Courtney was a cat that was very dear to our family. Up until the time she died back in the mid-2000s. As I said, I think it was like 2004. And, I mean, Courtney was so dear to us. She loved us. She loved attention like cats love. She loved to massage us and all that. And to this day, me and Mom have no idea how she died. I remember back when I first moved into this house back in 2001, I was 25 years old. I was so ready to have my own house and to live on my own and have my own responsibilities, which is exactly what happened in 2001, but I would still go over to Mom's house and visit for dinner on Sunday nights and such. And right around the time before Courtney died, she got to where she kind of acted kind of funny. She liked to, hang around, water faucets. I would see her around the, laying right there at the, bathtub, faucet, like the feel of, moisture from the faucet or whatever was what was keeping her comfortable. And I think Mom even told me the same thing. She would even catch Courtney laying around faucets like the, bathtub faucet or the kitchen faucet, what have you. Then all of a sudden, one day, the story was from Mom. One day, I think Courtney just fell over dead in the living room, and we're still not exactly sure to this day how she died. I think maybe Mom told me she called the vet and described the symptoms, and maybe they told her how she died, but so long ago I can't remember. But Courtney, to make a long story short, was a cat that was very dear to me, Mom, and the rest of the family. A few years back in September of 1999, before I actually, moved out on my own and had my own house, we had a Yorkshire Terrier named Punkbutt. Punkbutt was also very dear to us, but Punkbutt ended up, one day she, ended up walking around all the way up to the a main highway 11, about a half mile or 3/4 of a mile from where we lived, and she ended up getting hit by a car, and that was very sad for me and Mom, because Punkbutt was close to us just like Courtney was. But shortly, after Punkbutt's death, Mom has a friend that, had a litter of pups. Mom's friend, had a pregnant dog that was actually just basically dropped off at her house and had the puppies right there in their garage. So anyway, Mom's friend was like, do you want any of these puppies? And me and Mom were like, sure, yeah, we'll take a puppy, which that puppy turned out to be Paco. Yeah, Paco lived with both me and Mom from 1999 till 2001, when I actually moved, to my own house. And I was so very close to Paco. Paco loved attention. Paco loved to be walked. He loved to be loved on, and I just grew very close to Paco. So in 2001, when I moved out to my own house, which is right here, I ended up taking Paco with me. As I mentioned earlier, I came across these old pictures of Paco right before I moved out, you know, of my mom's place. And, I mean, they're very special photos. So I figured, yeah, tonight, this would make a good YouTube video. Some of you may already be familiar with Paco. Paco, I had to have him euthanized back in, you know, yeah, New Year's Eve of 2012 into year 2013. So anyway, I had to, you know, have Paco euthanized, you know, on New Year's Eve of, you know, 2012, which today is like August 4th, 2016. So on New Year's Eve of 2016 into year 2017 will make, you know, the 4th anniversary of Paco's death. I mean, I had to have Paco euthanized. He had such ailing health. He had major skin allergies for, you know, all of his life that I had to, you know, keep him on medication, you know, for most of his life, which that medication was Vetilog to, you know, treat dog allergies. And Paco got to, as the years went on and on, that his arthritis caught up to him. He had arthritis that, you know, caught up to him. And he got to where he could not use his back legs anymore. He could not, you know, use my, you know, porch steps. I mean, one morning, the same morning I had Paco euthanized was, you know, a very cold morning. New Year's Eve of 2012 into 2013 was very, very cold. There was frost all over the ground. And I went outside, you know, that morning to check on Paco, and I was like, why isn't Paco on the porch like he normally is? Couldn't find Paco at first, and then I found Paco laying right on the side of my, you know, shed, my storage shed. He was laying right there in the frost, on the ground in the frost, and it was a very cold morning, about maybe 20 degrees, maybe 25 degrees, very cold morning. And I knew that was probably because Paco's arthritis had caught up to him so bad that he could no longer use my steps. But sadly, that same morning I, you know, had, you know, have Paco euthanized because his health was just, you know, ailing way too much. But let me go over these special pictures that I found of Paco before I moved out on my own. At least I think they're pictures of Paco from before I moved out on my own. It's been so long ago I can't remember very well, but actually these photos were probably taken right before, you know, they had like digital photography back in the late 90s and into the early 2000s. You still had to, you know, take your photos to a photo mat to be processed, and photos I'm going to show you right now is probably the same photos that had to be processed at a photo mat. By the way, I very seldom deal with photos because all my photos are, you know, always videography and very seldom ever still photos. So therefore, I'm fixing to do a slideshow, but this slideshow is going to be by hand instead of by, you know, actual digital photo technology, since I don't have the experience with still photos like I actually do videography. So let's begin. This is Paco on the bathtub of, Mom's former house where me and her used to live. Think he was probably playing with our cat Courtney, and he also was probably very, curious of, Mom as she was, photoing him. But looks like he, in the photo, he's kindly, asking for attention, or is ready for Courtney to play with him, Courtney the cat to play with him. Here is Paco leaning outside of Mom's bathtub. As you can see, it looks like Paco is yawning and kind of like telling me and Mom, "Oh, I've had enough photography for the day. Can you please cut me some slack?" Cute, very cute photo though. At some point during, all the photography, Courtney the cat, this right here is actually Courtney the cat. And as you can see, Paco has his paw on Courtney's face, kind of. And, and here, Courtney comes up and Paco's like, "Yes, I'm ready to play. I've had enough work for today. All work, no play makes Paco a dull boy. So Courtney, let's play." Here's both Paco and Courtney in the bathtub. And Courtney kind of has the impression like, I think I heard a mouse walking around the house, and let me investigate. Where's that mouse? That mouse would make me a very good snack, but I'm just kidding. But kind of like, that's Courtney's impression, like she just, heard a mouse outside of the bathtub and she wants to catch that mouse for her daily snack. Yeah. And there's Paco right here, so curious of Courtney's expression and how very adorable. And here's, excuse me here, my fan is blowing around the photo, but here's Paco and Courtney in the bathtub. And Paco is like, "Courtney, can't you just, play with me a little bit more? I don't want the end of the show yet. I'm just a pup with so much energy," which Paco was basically kind of a puppy at the time. And he's like, "Courtney, stay in the bathtub and play with me. Please don't leave me hanging. I want to play with you and just let out that puppy energy to the fullest." Kind of, it's kind of like that's what Paco's thinking in this photo. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my slideshow by hand. Since I don't really know diddly about, like, digital slideshows and stuff like that, but I just found those pictures and I'm like, I have to do this video. I mean, Paco is dead. Yes, he's dead, but even though Paco's dead, Paco was a great dog, and he's a memory that's worth keeping alive. As that old saying goes, gone but not forgotten.